that Louise or Kathy out there?
Yes, what do you like to do? Bike and hike or?
Vern and Linda.
You got 30 seconds to think about it.
3 seconds is
We
not
used to go
enough.
out. We used to go out with them.
I got a detail. They used to go on double dates together.
Who? Oh, they did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay, this is.
So-
I
this,
was
you know
like
who this is?
16.
He does.
They looked familiar.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
All I got to do is just look at those eyes. You look to me like a whisker.
I'm good. I'm Scott.
That's what I figured. You were Scott.
I'm the youngest.
Keith. This is Keith.
I'm Aaron. I'm Vern's
This is
son.
B is
Aaron?
wife.
Yeah.
Nice to
Nice to meet you too.
And you are?
And I am their
On the other side.
cousin, the other side, from the
Okay.
Moulton side.
Okay, good.
I'm Colleen
This is
Craven.
my wife, Libby.
Nice to meet you. You guys can sit down here. I need to
Barge in right here somewhere.
My daughter's gone, but it's nice to meet you. I'll see you again in a minute.
All right.
And you too.
And you too.
Where did your daughter go? Is she off?
She's right over there.
Oh, right there.
Good to see you.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. It was
Last we talked, we had a major burnout.
We have a burnout. We have been nowhere since then. We
The
haven't.
burnout is in the
motor
The
RV.
motorhome.
Yeah, yeah. Did you guys go down this winter? No, you didn't.
You've been going to Yuma? We have. Till
Yeah,
this year.
we used to see them in Yuma.
That's the only place we could ever find you.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Who are you?
I'm Brent Jensen. I'm Linda's nephew.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, she's only 5 years older than I am, but she's still my
We have
aunt.
an exit.
And this is your
This
lovely
is
wife.
my wife. Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
married 120 days.
So did you know my mom before any of that?
Oh,
It is.
Yeah, so what was your, sum it up in a couple of sentences, what you know?
we lived in Chico, and Linda at that time, I guess, well, when she was a young girl, still living with Grandma and Grandpa. They were in Macville.
Yeah.
And we'd go visit Grandma and Grandpa every once in a while, and Linda would be there.
Yeah.
That's what I keep
And,
telling
she was like a
you.
older sister.
Yeah.
She's only about, 5 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Being my father's oldest child and she being his youngest sibling, we ended up only about 4 or 5 years apart. So yeah, we were
Because you
friends
wanna
when I
live.
was a teenager.
Yeah, we lived for
Yeah.
3 minutes in the thing.
Played games and
No, you don't want to.
did things that friends do.
Yeah.
Having fun together. Her and Grand.
Power.
Yeah. Yeah, they were close in age.
Just a little older.
It is.
Yeah.
It's definitely an issue.
But only when we would get together for family gatherings.
Well, you can go
And that
try.
was before they had internet and cell
Right.
phones, so there wasn't any other communicating except on those 2 or 3 times a year when we
Right.
were together. No, I've always remembered Aunt Linda.
Even my pickup.
In fact, I don't usually call her Aunt Linda. She's
Yeah.
just Linda.
Linda, because you're so close in age.
Too
Yeah.
close in age to refer
Yeah.
to her as Aunt anymore.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were asleep.
Very cool. That's
Okay, here's my
archival footage.
Well, I could remember.
How about I hold it up here?
Okay,
like
here's
this?
my information. When they got married, I was
showed up for this party.
it is 15, 71. I was 16,
Okay.
and I didn't go.
You didn't go to the marriage, to the wedding?
It was in California. And then I also remember a bunch of when they'd come. You guys would come back to visit.
Oh yeah,
And
in
I
the
was
summers.
you were just a kid. And I dragged you and your dad off
I remember all of every second.
Jeep trips.
I remember all those.
They usually get Vern in trouble because I took him too long to go.
I wished I'd
Do you
gone.
remember going through the tank trap in West Fork? Going down
Was that
through,
called the tank trap?
Yeah. When you went down through the creek in West Fork, and then you went up this really steep hill, and you said, "I'm not going through there." So you got out and walked.
I'll never forget all that stuff.
You and your mom and dad, you know, it's always good to have you come into town. We always had good family get-together.
Oh yeah.
And and everything else.
I
And
wish-
I also, when they moved to California, I went with them.
You did?
I drove.
Oh, you drove with them. Okay, and then did you have to
I stayed there and lived there for 20 years.
in California?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't do that, of course. We drove straight through, and I think we had a one flat. You were just, you
I don't remember that part. I was probably 2.
Yeah, I think we had a flat tire.
What town was it that they moved to?
They went to Sacramento.
Podunk town.
Because Linda's parents lived.
It was Citrus Heights.
They went to Sacramento. 'cause
Yeah, it was
their
a
grandparents.
duplex in Citrus Heights.
So we stayed home. While Mom and Dad went on the big, I think, a plane ride. I don't know. You have to ask your mom.
So
I
we
wish
don't
I
know who you are.
remembered.
Tell us who you are, and how do you know?
She's my sister.
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys are Wiscoms.
we're Wisconsin.
Okay.
This is our
what's your
Aunt
first name?
Mary's mom's sister's kids.
Bless you, dear.
Oh,
So good to
How
see
are
you.
Okay. We'll look that up someday.
Well,
so
Mary
Mary and Rachel
we're sisters.
were sisters and best
Okay,
friends
so-
growing up.
Okay.
And
Sisters
so
and
we
best
always,
friends.
oh,
Yes, they were.
Yeah, the thing is, that's what I was going to
That's
say.
how come
I don't
we
even,
got this
I wish I
long
remembered your mom,
connection.
but I was 5 when she passed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was 5.
Passed
So
away.
I vaguely
Aunt
had,
Mary.
yeah, I vaguely remember sitting at home at the plant and Mom was gone to the, I guess the funeral, or I don't know if that. Me and Keith talked about manufactured memories. We say, we're talking about something, you say, do you think that? I think I have a memory of something like that, but I think it may have been manufactured.
Or somebody else's.
Yeah.
Memory.
Like,
When we get together, we kind of like bump things off each other. Before you know it, we got this memory. We're not even
I'm not sure if it's real, but he has a story of a cold call at the plant, getting run over crossing the street. And then I have a memory of the cold call plant, crossing the street. I looked up and the car stopped.
I've got to go.
Was it a dream a recurring dream that became a memory?
I don't remember
You're not sure.
ever dreaming it. I remember walking across the street with probably a jug of water for my dad, or you had to cross the street. You couldn't drink water in the house. You had to go over to the plant, prime the pump, and fill the glass gallon jug, and then take it back. And Dad would come home and say, "Oh, I'm thirsty, Scott. The water's. I need some of the water." I said, "Dad, I just went and got some." "Oh, it's warm." So off he'd send me, going, "Let's get rid of some of these kids. And they all get run over." No, but I remember coming back, and I don't know what I've been doing. I was maybe even fishing. But once you get down to Farmington, looked up, and there's a car standing. Now, whether that's true or not. And asked him about his memory of the same incident.
Were you together?
No, we weren't together. He's got a story that's similar.
I had one that a car knocked his shoe off.
Not my shoe, your shoe.
My shoe? That we don't even know.
It wasn't my shoe.
I'm glad you're both still alive.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I always
So
thought.
now I remember when the first time I come to your house, you guys lived in town. You didn't live out on the north end.
That was before my time.
That's before your time. Might be before your time.
I was 4.
4 years old. Okay.
When we moved to
When
the
you
plant.
moved. Yeah.
And the memory, you just vague memory of hanging with the Hellion Moultons.
I remember several trips to Heber City to the old house in town. We just come up and played and had a good time, and everybody loaded up in the old car.
Down the North Field.
The old 37 Ford or whatever we had, and went home. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So, how old are you
So
compared
I
to
am,
Linda?
Mary
And Vern.
Elmer's oldest daughter.
Okay.
She's
I
the
am-
oldest
I'm
cousin.
the oldest cousin.
Okay.
84.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So, what were you doing?
Yes.
What were you
you're 3
doing
years
when
older than-
Linda and Vern got engaged? Were you there for any of the wedding or an engagement or any of the dating or anything?
I don't remember any of that's what I
That was
keep
in
telling your
California,
mother.
so they didn't go
In
either,
fact, I
probably.
just sat down with your mother and said, "Okay, tell me how you two met, so I know something."
There we go.
There we go.
So your mother, Wick, was the oldest, right?
Yeah.
And then Mary?
No.
No, Mary was.
Ruth was the oldest.
But then you still
No,
say you're
Wick
the oldest
and
cousin?
Ruth, and then Mom.
Yeah, I'm the
Tell us how you know what your familial relationship is with Vern, and were you there when they dated, got married, were newlyweds, any of that?
Vern is first cousin, but I was not around when he got engaged or married. I don't know. There's a span of years there where we kind of lost track.
Everybody got.
And then all of a sudden, we were traveling a little bit. We run into Fred and Marcia, so we've kind of kept touch a little bit that way. And then we served a mission up at the Heber Valley Girls Camp in 2008 and 9. And Vernon happened to come up one day as a volunteer one Saturday and was working and doing. And he came in the office.
One thing I know that
And DeVee heard the name Moulton. Says, surely somehow we must know a Moulton from Heber City. So they got talking.
I'm so tired of the
Rachel.
that you feel from
And so anyway,
Okay, we better cut it off there because we're gonna get started.
Hot girls.
hot girls.
Love to have you here. Well, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And I have no idea how we made it to this far, but we managed.
It's a miracle.
A couple days ago, Linda and I were talking about some of the details of getting this all together, and we had a bit of a disagreement about what should be done. And our son, who was in the next room, Aaron, came in and he said, look, Mom and Dad, if you just hold off for a couple more days, then you can celebrate your 50th. So we did.
So we try not to argue for 3 days.
So we did. I was talking to my brother-in-law, Ed, and I said, Ed, I guess I should write a speech or say something. He says, you're going to write a speech? That would not have been fun. But I did write a speech.
Of course you did.
I'm sorry, I'm not
Here's my
feeling very
speech.
good. I'm sorry.
It's almost like on a sticky note here. That's how short it is.
There's 2 of them.
But two pages.
He's got his cats in.
So, but Linda and I have been blessed with 2 wonderful children, and we have 4 grandkids. Boy, we sure love them, and we appreciate those kids. We have Guy, stand up Guy, take a bow. He's the oldest. Then we have Dante next, and Desmond next, and then we have Maria, who's running around here. Maybe some of you have seen her on Facebook, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can you say, oh my goodness? Say, oh my goodness.
Not on
Never
cue.
will.
So we've been blessed, and we hope to stick around for another 50 years to enjoy your association and friendship. Thank you so much for coming. Now, I would just like to say, may God bless us all with health and happiness, and may God bless this great country, America, that we live in. Amen.
Amen.
And I just wanted to say to Linda, honey, I love you.
Was that in the script?
No.
Well, you had to look at it.
Yeah, speech. Well, I just want to say welcome everyone. And when we were thinking about what we wanted to do for our celebration, we didn't really want to go on a vacation to Europe or anything. We didn't want to spend that much money. We're kind of afraid of the COVID situations around, but anyway, we decided we wanted to spend the time with our friends and family.
And the only girl.
Only girl.
So tell us your first name.
I'm Kathy
What's your last name?
Docus.
And how are you related to Or how do you?
That is my cousin.
Vern is your cousin.
Vernon is
Okay.
my first cousin, and his father is Glenn,
Yeah.
and my mother is Blanche, and their brother
Okay.
and their
Okay.
brother and
So that's
sister.
played together as kids.
A little bit, yes, yes, we did.
Okay. And
At
where were
Grandma's
you,
house.
Where were you when you found out that he was getting married?
Oh, I have no idea where I was. So
Do you recall the moment in time? I'm just kidding.
no, I do not.
What do you remember anything about prior to them getting married? I guess they got married pretty fast from what I
Yes.
heard.
No,
So
because
it wasn't like the whole world knew leading up to.
right, that's right. But we saw them when they were little at Grandma Moulton's.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't remember of a lot of
Actually,
things as far as them getting married.
I'm Richard's age.
Yeah.
I remember Richard more than the rest of the kids. We played together, but not a lot.
Because you had to wait for family reunions to happen.
right.
Kind of.
Well, we went to Heber every Sunday,
Yeah.
and so when we were young, we played. There was me and Richard and Douglas, and that's Leah's boy.
Yeah.
But Vernon didn't come along until later. What year
Yeah.
was he born?
44.
Well, he's not that far much different in age than me.
Yeah.
No.
He was born the same year as my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, 77.
So did you as newlyweds or anything like that? Did you have any interaction with them?
No, we really didn't. No, I didn't.
Were you living in Utah at the time?
Uh-huh.
Because they went to California and got married.
Yeah, no. Hello, Marcia.
What year did they get married?
And see, Marcia was
Well, I hope it was before 1974.
Marcia was
That's all I'd like to
before,
say.
You know, we got it
Yes.
together
I think
with
it was
Marcia more than
71.
Diane.
Let's see.
Wedding dress.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it would have been.
and by the
It would
way,
have been.
Do
See,
you know what happened to the veil?
2021 minus 50,
I never got the veil.
71.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That you poor thing. I'm so sorry. That's okay. That's all right. I still have the dress.
All right. Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing. Anything else you want to share?
It's certainly nice to meet you.
You too. So tell us your first and last name.
Louise Lyman.
I'm
Marcia's age.
Would you
Marcia's
go home
age,
so
okay.
I went find it?
You know, we would do things with Marcia,
Yeah.
but the older boys, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
We lived in this room.
And so did you live in Utah at the time when they were married, or were you around at all for that?
Well, I've lived in Orem all my life. Well,
Okay.
Provo and Orem all my
Yeah.
life.
Okay. Very cool. And
I wish I had some salt and pepper.
somebody was saying, oh, yeah, never mind. Okay.
Yes.
Any other memories you'd like to share?
That's flight attendant.
Yeah, we had a slide.
I'll have to
See,
think.
she's the one that would have more memories.
Because I
Yeah.
have my
No wild rides down the freeway with a bunch of kids in the back of the car, breaking the speed limit,
No, we didn't.
no seatbelt laws, swerving.
pay that much attention.
How you were married in
How you doing?
1971?
Good.
How are you doing?
How come it took you so long to get married?
Well, I served a mission.
I have not.
We was waiting for
And
Linda to get
then I
older.
was drafted into the Marine Corps,
Really?
and I went to Vietnam.
Because see,
Yes, I went.
you were
Just
only
last month.
4 years younger than me.
In fact, maybe
I
about
was married. I got married
ago. I took some lunch to them,
Oh.
and they were on their way to play golf.
Oh, you probably got to
And
disconnect
they,
Bluetooth off on my phone to get it to.
I asked Diane. I said, "Do you play golf?" And she said, "No, I just." And I think he takes her because he can't leave her.
Can't leave her alone.
And she just gets in the car and drives around.
I had my last child, Lisa.
Video for my parents. Tell us about Vern and Linda.
Thank you.
What are your first thoughts that come to mind about Vern and Linda?
My very first thoughts. They have incredible experience. And when we had our marriage classes, They had the spirit when they felt it, they said the perfect comments at the very right moments when that particular thought needed to be explained and said. And ever since we did those firesides, and they were so gracious to have us there all the time, I always felt that they were family. In fact, Aaron, sometimes when I hear Kari talk to you in a not very nice tone, I get ruffled because she's talking to my Aaron that way. And so anyway, then I talk to her later private about her. But anyway, Vern and Linda to me are family.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah. Good.
So,
thank you. Chelsea, it's your turn.
My first memory of Vern and Linda is waiting in the church when Kari and Aaron were getting married and everyone was busy putting stuff up and putting stuff together, and Mom was frazzled, and we were all waiting on somebody, and then Vern and Linda walked in and they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "I don't know, somebody's late." And it was them. So that was my first introduction, but they have always been like another set of parents or grandparents, like in that area to me, where they have been a source of comfort.
That's awesome. I agree. That's how I feel when I go home. Yeah. Tell me about Grandma and Grandpa.
Yes.
Grandma and Grandpa Moulton.
Nana, can the bag piece?
Don't cover that part. There you go.
That.
See close?
See?
Yeah. Everybody, we're just going to give this quick little gift presentation to Mom and Dad here. Okay, so this is from Kari and I in appreciation for your hard work.
For giving birth to you?
For giving birth to me and keeping me alive.
Yeah, keeping you alive.
Until I could leave the nest.
Yeah.
And even after that. And being everything. You'll see in the car there's just too many things to list to be thankful for. But no, I want you to open this.
That first.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful. Oh, pretty. Mm-hmm.
That's where we were married. Well, we were actually married in Oakland, but this is where we got our endowment. Our first time in the temple was here.
Oh, nice. That is a beautiful picture.
Again, like Aria says, again.
Oh, I know exactly what
How
we
long
talked
were you
about.
married before you had her?
20 years.
Oh my goodness.
We've been married 21 years. So we got her after 19 years of marriage.
So did you go through an agency or something?
So we found her a lady in Phoenix. Had already had 2 kids. Single mom, no job, no diploma, no car, basically homeless.
Oh, what a blessing to you.
Yes. So, let's see. Oh, so Kari's former coworker knew our story that we wanted kids. We were looking for whatever, right? And so she told Kari, she says, "I know this person, you might want to meet her, da-da-da." She thinks she's interested in adopting the baby out. She didn't know what really to do, but was considering adoption as an option. And we just started talking, hey! And I'll come talk to you later. And so we met her, and it was a bumpy ride, because we didn't know about
The background.
how it worked. We didn't know the background, right?
Do you watch This Is Us? Yes.
I've been told I should watch that show. I don't know. Do you remember the? There's a movie with I think it's with Mark Wahlberg. And what's the title of that one now?
It's a family.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah.
A lot of truth in that. Yeah, it's very cute. Do you remember the scene at the end where it's in the courtroom and big celebration balloons and all that kind of stuff? That's for real.
Yeah.
That is
And
for
that
real.
many tears too. That was, oh my gosh, that was.
Yeah.
Does her mother ever? I mean, is it?
Yes, we went on a play date with them a month ago
Oh.
to the aquarium. I don't even think it was that long ago. But we texted her probably 3 days ago, and we sent pictures from the visit to the aquarium.
Oh, that's neat.
So, but yeah, so she has 2 older half sisters that are just the cutest. So we don't post them all over Facebook, but that's super cute.
That's a neat story.
Yeah, and she's just the most wonderful. Yeah.
I can tell she's very loved.
Yes, she is. All right, so Aunt Donna, I want to know, this is like a surprise video for them. They don't know what other people are saying about them.
Well, this is the lady to talk to right here.
Right? So
we didn't
tell
know
us,
too much.
Tell us about when you heard Vern was dating and getting engaged, and like what you knew about, what you thought, just what were your thoughts, and whatever you remember about the time before and during and after they got married.
Gosh, it's been so long ago, I don't know if I can remember, but all
Whatever
I do
you
know
can
is
remember.
my sister, well, he's got to hurry up and get married. His dad just piddled around and piddled around, and Dad said when he met Rachel, he said she was teaching school up in Camas, and Daddy said, now you get busy and get her before somebody else does, because you're old. And
That's
so we was
awesome.
worried about Vernon. We wanted him to hurry up and him to get him a wife.
Yeah.
Because those other 2 boys didn't feel the desire.
Right.
Well, anyway.
I think that was good advice on his part.
Yeah, that's about, we were just tickled that he was getting married. What a cute
Yeah.
girl. What a, oh.
I heard that it was a whirlwind, but we're glad that it happened. So what do you think so far? Do you think they made it 50 years? Do you think my dad's happy?
I think so.
Yeah.
He loves her. And they come together. I mean, there always seems to be, when I'm with them, they're always together.
Yeah.
Never really come to family reunions. They're just a pair. Like I told her, I says, we're a pair.
Yeah.
And that's the way they are. They're just a match. They didn't have a mind. Got a good family. And,
That's good to hear.
They're good folks. Hello,
Yeah.
sweetheart. How are you? I'm good.
I'm glad you made it.
I am too.
Way to go. I saw you tap dancing the other day on the stage. It was super cute. Oh my gosh. My wife and I were like, goodness, look at her. She's just the cutest.
Anyway, I've had a good life. And
You have.
And it's been we come from a good family.
Sure do.
Your grandpa, Glenn, was, well, I was spoiled. I was the last one, and he was still home.
Yeah.
Trying to find a wife. He'd sit me on the table.
Excuse me. Hi, you're Aaron.
Yes.
I'm Pat Anderson, one of their buddies.
Oh, hi.
You don't remember me from the award
I
days
do.
way back.
I remember your face.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. Kari's here. Aria's here.
Hi there. How you doing?
I'll come talk to you in a minute. I'll come see you guys in a minute.
Anyway, I would take the cod liver oil, and Glenn would sit me on the table. Now, Donna, I'll take it if you will. And you eat a spoonful of sugar, and I'll eat a spoonful of sugar, and we'll hurry and stop. Love to that.
Yeah. Well, you're the one that has to tell the stories of my grandpa Moulton, because I was too young.
You wouldn't remember.
I remember just a couple. Here's a story about Grandpa Moulton. I was probably 4 or 5.
Well, they messed up.
Actually, I was probably turning 5 or something like that, right? And we were standing in the backyard, and he had driven the truck in the backyard for whatever reason. And in my little toddler brain, I was like, why in the heck is there a truck in the backyard? And I just kept saying, Grandpa, 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 Grandpa. And he finally turned to me and I go, how did you get the truck in the backyard? And he kind of turned to me like, well, I drove it. And I was like, how anticlimactic. I thought it flew, or you took it apart piece by piece and brought it back here. You don't drive a truck on the grass.
There.
Because we were supposed to take care of the grass, right? So, yeah. That's all yeah.
He lived in, you guys lived in a lot of different houses in town. And then they moved to Salt Lake, right across from my sister Leah.
Oh, yeah?
Up on 7th Avenue in Salt Lake. When he worked for the Army or something, some outfit, I don't remember. And I said I'd go and stay with Leah, and then I'd go across the street and stay with them.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we were
always around.
And I tended, see, Richard was about, let's see, I'm 91. How old's Richard? He's about 85, 6, maybe 4. Anyway, I used to tend Richard when he was a baby. Oh, I was thrilled with him.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have
He's a good guy today, even.
I know.
So tell us something. This is not related, but how much do you think a personality of a 2-year-old has to do with, because I'm a parent, I've got a daughter who's 2. Can you tell what they're going to be like when they're older by how they act as kids?
I think so. You can tell if they're loving and kind, or if they're hateful, and a lot of it depends on how they're treated too, and if they're treated with kindness and love. That's what they develop into.
Yeah.
If they're treated cross, and I don't know. I didn't have too many cross people in my family.
I would have to agree with you on that.
That was one family. Your mom, your grandma and grandpa, they were kind.
Yeah, they were. I remember Rachel being very, very kind. She would get her hackles up when any of the neighborhood, she stayed with us for a little while, and she saw how the neighbor kids would tease me, and she would take me aside a couple times and say, now don't you let those hecklers bother you. You're a good kid. Don't let them have any say in how you feel about yourself. So, yeah. I cried when she went home. I loved having her around.
She was a good gal.
Yeah.
And what I liked about Rachel is if the kids were doing something, she wanted to be right in the middle of them, hiking or sliding down slippery slides.
Oh, yeah.
And hurt her back because she was going to do what the kids did.
Yeah.
She was a good sport.
Yeah, she was.
She was a good sport. So.
Yeah, I remember that for sure. Okay, Donna.
Okay.
I'd sit here all day and talk to you, but there's other people around here.
You've got a world to conquer here today, so
Take care.
I'm so glad to see you.